In our service today, Debbie Norton will be sharing your joys and sorrows, and we're always so grateful for the tech skills of Sean Scally, Kelly Dryden, and Caroline Hines, who are working behind the scenes as technical support. We're also grateful for our video editor, Ellie Ransom, for her gifts and contributions. And we will also have an offering today by the UU Sivo Choir, arranged by Scott DeVoe. Both Reverend Linda and Leah are here with us for this special multi-generational Easter service, and you can find the order of service online at ucharlottesville.org. And now, let us join our hearts and minds in worship with these words. Around us, light and life are returning. The spirit of life shows up as buds and flowers in the skeletons of trees. It brings forth new shoots from the soil. It wakes us and invites us to see what lies beyond. We rejoice in what we are becoming in the spirit of our earth's awakening.
My name is Edith Good, and I've been coming to this church for over 50 years. What I love about being a part of this community is, especially nowadays with COVID, the amount of attention and care and love is just so appreciated. We light our chalice this morning, the symbol of our UU faith. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is a church of open minds. This is a church of helping hands. This is a church of loving hearts. Our congregation's chalice has been lit, and it will have its own screen throughout the service. If you have a chalice in your home, please light it now.
Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to be here this morning to be sharing some of the symbols and meanings behind our Easter celebration and to be celebrating Easter together. Celebrating the arrival of spring is one of the oldest celebrations we have. For as long as people have known the cold and darkness of wintertime, we have hoped and longed for the spring to return. And when it does, we celebrate. Did you know that Easter gets its name from the Teutonic goddess of spring and the dawn, whose name is spelled O-E-S-T-R-E and is pronounced Yoster? Yoster's symbols are rabbits and birds. Ostara, the goddess associated with the spring equinox, is known as the goddess of spring and dawn, and she carries an egg as a symbol of fertility and of new and continuing life. Today, it is a beautiful spring day here in Virginia, and we are celebrating Easter. I've got some friends from church to help with our Easter fun, Amaya and Beth Garriott, and Laura and August Gastinger. They all have eggs with special things inside of them for our celebrations today. Amaya, let's look inside one of your Easter eggs.
This egg contains a symbol of the sun and the words, "Lo, the earth awakes again." The sun has always been a symbol of light, warmth, and growth. It helps the earth wake up from the colds of winter, and the sun helps us wake up in the morning.
Yes, it does. The sun helps me wake up in the morning for sure. And in the Northern Hemisphere where we all live, in the spring, the hours of daylight begin to lengthen, and it seems as if all the earth wakes up. Thanks, Amaya. Laura, I think you have an egg this morning. What's in your Easter egg?
I do. This egg has a flower in it, and it says, "Bring we leaf and flower and spray to adorn this happy day." Leafy branches and flowers are an important part of spring and Easter. And some early flowering plants that we see now are daffodils and crocus and forsythia, bluebells, and violets.
Oh, yes. And in Virginia, we also enjoy tulips and dogwoods and redbuds. Such vivid, beautiful colors delighting our eyes. Laura, which one is your favorite?
I'd have to say bluebells.
Bluebells. Yes, those are beautiful. They are. I love them too. And I love the redbuds and the dogwoods and the daffodils. Oh, it's hard to choose. I love them all. Amaya, do you have another Easter egg? What's in that one?
Egg has a rabbit or Easter bunny, and it also has a message. Once again, the world comes true. The rabbit or hare is also associated with the goddess Yoster. In the spring, many animals have their babies because bunnies have large families. They are also used to represent all of these new spring families. And for many people, spring represents the continuation of all the interconnected lives on Earth.
Absolutely. You are so right about that. And that actually connects to what we say as Unitarian Universalists, that we affirm the interconnectedness of all existence. Sometimes we call this the web of life. Did you know that one myth says that children presented eggs to the goddess as a gift in return for her bringing them spring? She was so touched by this gift that she recruited rabbits to help her return the brightly colored eggs to the children in baskets. And that is where the tradition of rabbits delivering eggs to children comes from. August, I think you have an egg. What's inside your egg?
Yes, I do have an egg. Inside my egg is a baby chick. It also has a message. All the earth shall be made new. Baby chicks are a symbol of happy surprises, probably because of how magical it is to watch a chick hatch from its egg and see the wonderful peeping little living creature that emerges. And spring is the time when hens start laying eggs, which makes new life possible.
Yes, and I've been lucky enough to watch chicks hatch, and it's pretty special to see. Whenever in our life we experience something completely new, we are bound to be surprised. And even though spring has been coming around to make the earth new for each of us every year of our lives, each springtime has its own unique beauty and surprises. Hey, Beth, do you have an Easter egg to open?
Yes, I do have an Easter egg to open, and it also has a message. Change your mourning into praise. Not everyone is always happy just because it's springtime. At any season of the year, we can feel sad, and we might be in mourning, which is another word to explain how we feel when we're really sad about something, particularly if someone we care about has died.
Yes. Even in our joy, we often have feelings of sadness that we carry in our hearts at the same time, especially during difficult times like the pandemic and in times of struggle and disappointment. For many people, the symbol of the cross is a reminder that sorrow can eventually open our hearts to even greater joy. This is true for Christians and for Unitarian Universalists who find wisdom in Christian teachings. Laura, I think you have another egg to share with us.
I do. And inside this egg is a bird, a tufted titmouse. And the message says, how our spirits soar and sing. Birds are symbols of the power of the Spirit to lift us up out of our ordinary lives and thoughts and turn our minds and hearts to joy. Perhaps it is because they can fly, or perhaps it is their singing.
It's hard to know if birds themselves feel happy when they fly and sing, but I like to think that they do. When people feel great joy, we are often reminded of soaring, singing birds. And when we fill up our lungs with air and we sing out, we get more oxygen into the part of our brain that makes us feel happy. I think we have one more egg to open. Look, it's right here. And it says, how our hearts leap with the spring. And it also says, put on your Easter bonnet. Now, some of you may be wondering, what the heck is an Easter bonnet? Well, it is a new or fancy hat worn at Easter, and it represents a tradition of wearing new clothes at Easter in harmony with the renewal of the year. In New York City, there was a festive Easter parade where people walked down Fifth Avenue from St. Patrick's Cathedral. So I just happened to have my new Easter bonnet right here. I hope that you'll have your Easter bonnet and that you'll come join me at our Easter drive-by celebration after worship today. We've got special Easter goodie bags for young and old alike, and we'll be collecting non-perishable food to share with a local organization that helps get food to people who are hungry. Happy Easter, everybody!
Happy Easter!
Bonnet with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover, and when they look you over, I'll be the proudest fellow in the Easter parade. On the avenue, photographers will stop us, and you'll find that you're in a rotograph of your own. I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter parade.
I love those bonnets, and I love all the bonnets that we're wearing today. On this festive holiday, we are so grateful for the family, friends, and for this congregation. The financial support you pledge helps us create this community of mutual caring. So during this Sunday morning time of offering, we invite you to give your financial gifts, knowing that you are making it possible for us all to receive again and again from this spiritual community. So this past week, I actually formally joined our congregation as a member and signed our historic membership book. As Christine Gresser and I sat on my porch for this little ceremony, The March winds were flipping the pages and pages of signatures, and we delighted in revisiting the names of the many special people that make up this community, some of whom I see here today. It is an honor to join you all in this season of renewal and becoming. And it is in this community, in vulnerability, trust, and a belief in growing side by side, that we renew our commitment in the financial gifts that we give. So today, I want to remind you that it's not too late to make a special contribution to support the current social action collection. And I think Sean will actually put up a slide about that. So today's gifts will support the important work of African American Teaching Fellows, a local organization that helps ensure that African American students in Charlottesville and Albemarle County can have mentors who share their sociological and cultural roots, and who can address the needs of a diverse student population. We all know how important it is to have people that look like you in positions of power that you can look up to. So it's such a great organization. And of course, to give to our congregation or to designate a gift to the Social Action Collection, you can send a check in the mail, or if you prefer, online donations are possible through the website using Breeze. Or you can text the amount that you would like to donate to this link, 434-227-2266. We thank you for your generous gifts. May your donation, like your love, go out into the world. So please join me in dedicating the offering now, saying these words out loud. We accept your gifts with gratitude. May we use them wisely for the highest good.
All creatures of the earth and sky, come together, lift your voices high. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Bright burning sun with golden beam, soft shining moon with silver gleam. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Swift rushing winds so wild and strong, white clouds that sail in heaven along. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Fair rising morning, praise rejoice. High stars of evening find a voice. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Good morning, I'm Conrad Hines. I share these words from UU minister Sarah Morris Campbell. In the tomb of the soul, we carry secret yearnings, pains, frustrations, loneliness, fears, regrets, and worries. In the tomb of the soul, we take refuge from the world and its heaviness. In the tomb of the soul, we wrap ourselves in the security of darkness. Sometimes this is a comfort. Sometimes it is an escape. Sometimes it prepares us for our experience. Sometimes it insulates us from life. Sometimes this tomb life gives us time to feel the pain of the world and reach out to heal others. Sometimes it numbs us and locks us with our own concerns. In this season where light and dark balance the day, we seek balance for ourselves. Grateful for the darkness that has nourished us. We push away the stone and invite the light to awaken us to the possibilities within us and among us. Possibilities for new life in ourselves and in the world.
Happy Easter morning. As Leah and her friends were telling us earlier, Easter is a joyous holiday and it's filled with so many associations and meanings from around the world, many cultures. It's filled for me with a lot of associations of sunrise services in the springtime, flowers, new clothes, candy, colored eggs. So pretty, all of it. And yet, The Christian Easter story, as told in the Bible, gives a lot of people some trouble. Does it matter if we're not sure that a miracle occurred and that Jesus did indeed come back to life again after he was crucified? Can we take inspiration from the story that's in the Bible, even if we think it's just that, a story? Well, here's my thoughts on all of this. Easter, I think, is the culmination of a teachings that Jesus made, but also that have been made by many, many wise people, including a person called the Buddha, and including all the lessons we find in nature. And what is that teaching? That in this life, we are on journeys with fellow travelers, and we move through seasons of birth and growth and fading and endings and rebirths. And we all suffer, and we all need love. And that the important thing is to pay attention, to be awake to how the world is unfolding and how we are all becoming, changing, growing, offering compassion to one another, seeking the warmth of the sun and the comfort of the night. Another part of Easter that I learned from is that it didn't happen until something really bad happened. Some really bad things happened in the Bible story. During the week leading up to Easter morning, Jesus entered Jerusalem to cheers, and then he was challenged and scorned, and then he was finally put to death. On the night of the Passover Seder with his friends, his disciples, the night that people call the Last Supper, Jesus asked his disciples to go with him into the Garden of Gethsemane. He wanted to pray, and Jesus's one and only request to the disciples was to stay awake with him. And they couldn't do it. They all fell asleep, and they weren't there to comfort him in his sadness. After the nightmare of Good Friday, according to the story in the Gospels, when the Easter morning came, a beautiful miracle had happened. Whatever you believe really happened on that day so long ago, we do know Jesus's followers were awakened that day. And more than just waking up from sleep, their minds and their hearts were awakened that day. Just like we are when we come out into our yards after long, cold nights, after winter storms, when the bird songs and the flowers awaken in us a heightened awareness, an awareness of the beauty and power of life. And that is what happened to the disciples on that day 2,000 years ago. Love is an awakening. It's a noticing, a reminder that we are alive and that all life in nature can be reborn, and so can we. We can become awake again after we sleep. And we can look around at each other and see in each other's faces communion, and see the reflection of our own eyes in one another's eyes. Conrad's reading today from Pastor Campbell reminds us that each of us have in some way been caught in dark places at different times in our lives. Sometimes the dark is healing to us, but sometimes it's filled with pain. But over and over, we discover the sun rises, the spring comes, and we can push away the stone, and we can become awakened to the light, to the possibilities that life can become new again and offer us so much. So on this Easter morning in the year of 2021, like every morning when we awake and our eyes open wide and we discover that we are alive again, I say that is the miracle story of Easter. Rising from the depths of deep sleep, rising from the depths of sorrow and winter, and finding ourselves again in the returning light of awareness and thanksgiving. The prelude we started with says, wake up, you sleepyhead, get up, get out of bed. And the hymn that we're going to close with, the lines that were in Reverend Leah's eggs that everyone was sharing. That hymn says, lo, the earth awakes again. While the Easter message is, lo, we awake again. We roll away the stone that has burdened us, and we rise to say, Alleluia, we are risen. We continue on the life journey of becoming ourselves, always changing, and now awake again. Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Passover, happy spring. And we hope that many of you are going to be getting into your cars soon to come over to the drive-by Easter parade, receive goodie bags, say happy birthday to Edith Good. But as we prepare to extinguish the chalice flames of this service, remember that the light lives in you and you can share it with the world. So let us now rejoice in this happy Easter morn. Take it away, Scott.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. Bringing every girl and boy baskets full of Easter joy, things to make your Easter bright and gay. He's got jelly beans for Tommy, colored eggs for Sister Sue. There's an orchid for your mommy and an Easter bonnet too. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, happy Easter day. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way. Try to do the things you should. Maybe if you're extra good, he'll roll lots of Easter eggs your way. You wake up on Easter morning and you know if he was there when you find the chocolate bunnies that he's hidden everywhere. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, happy Easter day. Hippity hoppity, happy Easter day.